Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Rant and Bollox. It's Bollox here, and we've got Mr. Rant on the other side.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you here.
So yeah, we're going to do a bit of a tech talk today. We're going to review some stuff that happened during the week and stuff that wrapped up last week as well. So CES is one of those things. And
I know what that is this week. Yeah.
You do know what it is this week. So
it's something in Las Vegas. Is it Las Vegas? Is that what it is?
It is in Las Vegas, yeah.
Yes.
So we will be going through that. We're going to go through some gaming stuff. The new Nintendo Switch got announced. Well, more details came out on it. We've got some movie talk as well, and then what's coming up from us in the next coming weeks as well. But I guess we'll just kick it off with some CES, and now you know about it, Paul. Did you look it up at all, or did you just
not a thing?
You son of a bitch.
Actually, no. Here's the thing. It's one of those weird coincidences. You know what Bader Meinhof is?
I don't know.
Bader Meinhof, it's literally weird things.
Okay.
If somebody gives you a new piece of information,
yeah,
like you meet somebody who's got a weird name, not a weird name, but a name you've never heard before.
Sure.
Like Constantine.
Okay.
And then the chance of you meeting someone else with that name or hearing it again suddenly jumps up.
Right.
So you might hear it in the news, you might read it in the newspaper.
I know. Yeah. I know where you're going at.
So there's no reason why it should happen, but it does. It's like you've never heard this name in 40 years, but then all of a sudden you hear it 3 times in a week.
Totally, yeah.
So I was on a website reading a completely different article that had nothing to do with tech. And I scrolled down, and at the bottom of the article, this little video started. And the video was for a little ball. It's like a smart toy.
Okay.
And it has eyes, and it has lights that light up. And it's for developmental children. Developmentally challenged children.
Right.
And it helps them learn in a way that they can understand. It was for their Kickstarter. And I just looked at this thing and I was like, this is just really cool. It's just real smart. It's great to see something happy in the world.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. So I clicked on the Kickstarter. I was like, I really hope they got their money.
Yeah.
They've made 150% of their money already.
Oh, shit. Nice.
So it's getting fun. It's called Lexa, Lexa.
Okay.
So I was like, great. Happy News Day. Yeah. Cool thing for kids. Brilliant. And then I went to the page, scroll down, it says special CES weekend giveaway.
There we go.
Oh, okay. It was at CES. I'd never heard of this show before, and just somehow yeah. So yeah, this is one of the tech things that was at CES. It was this little smart ball, and now they've got their crowdfunding. That's awesome. So that's awesome to see.
That's awesome. Well, going off on that, actually, what do you think of Kickstarter anyway? As a website, have you used it before? Have you backed something?
Have I backed something? I don't know.
There's also Indiegogo for Canada as well. So
yeah, it's Indiegogo. Okay. I think I backed something on Indiegogo.
I think it's such an awesome idea. I've backed a few things now.
Yeah,
but I know a mate of mine releases a lot of his games through Kickstarter as well. But yeah, it's just such an idea, good idea. Like you just said there. You love this product, and you could have gone and backed it. It sounded like it already backed.
Yeah, it was already backed. It was great. But it was weird because I've read that, and then I think it was the day after I read there's a drone company that has to give back all their money that they made.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $34 million.
Shit, because they didn't come through.
Because they couldn't catch up in time.
Yeah. That's happened a few times.
Yeah. And they promised something. I remember seeing their ad, and I was like, oh.
That's the thing. You promise something, and if you don't deliver, it's like, we deliver. Rant and Bollox.
Yeah.
We fucking deliver.
Every week, we're here for free, kickstarting in the face.
Delivering. Please put your credit card details into the comments.
So what was the big thing at CES then?
I noted down my favorites.
The consumer something show.
I purposely didn't note down the big ones because everyone listening to this is into their tech and they're probably they probably know about it all. So I was like, you need to do some reading up then. You need some web surfing.
No one said there'd be reading involved.
So I kind of noted some of my favorites, and there were a couple. One of them is Lego. Lego actually have a new...
That's been around now. They've made that already. I've seen it before.
The plastic blocks.
It's a little box thing.
Play them on top of each other and make dinosaurs.
They've got them in multiple colours now.
And we're done here.
And I saw they had pirates. So
someone went and actually, Lego's a lot better these days than when we... bloody
oh my god, Lego's amazing now.
They got Halo Lego, they got Robin Hood Lego, and
they got the Eye of Sauron. I remember they had the Lord of the Rings collection.
Yeah,
I was like, You used to just have one Lego man who would become whatever you told him to be that particular week.
Actually, Lego have done a good thing if you go onto their website. Apparently, I think it's a bit like a Kickstarter thing on their site where you can vote on or even recommend saying, I'd love to see this type of Lego. So there was back in the day, there was like, I really want to have a Ghostbuster Lego. I want to have like the car and I want to have all the figurines and stuff. And so they made it. And then there's like, I really want Halo Lego. And then that came through as well, which is kind of a cool idea. So when these films come out, X-Men Lego and all that lot. So, and they try and, get it together. But this Lego I'm talking about is called Lego Boost. And it's teaching children how to code in like very kind of small, discrete ways. You have your Lego figurine, you build him, and then you have like a little iPad app that goes along with it. So you build your little Lego figurine, but with like motors and with like little kind of like LED eyes and things like that. And then in the app, after you've built him, you can tell him like, walk across the table, then turn left and jump up on this thing, which is kind of cool. But some of the commands that you have to deliver it through on this app, you have to kind of know, some basic coding. So it's basically Lego building with some code
to
move him along, to move those motors along, or like make him walk forward. His eyes will flash, and then he'll growl.
That just scares me though,
so
right?
It's incredible because
robot Lego. That's terrifying.
7-year-olds are doing this. But I mean, like, I think it's a good thing having them grow up with this.
So Skynet's just going to be built out of Lego blocks.
And out of 7-year-olds.
That's how it gets you. You're thinking,
Skynet,
look at this. This is so cool. Got an X-Wing.
I would love that. I had...
That's true.
Did you have in Ireland droids? I think it's droids. Oh, Zoids. Sorry, Zoids. And it was like the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of walked a little bit like with mechanics as well.
Yeah.
But nothing compared to this Lego Boost.
No, when you get to code it to do your own thing.
Exactly, yeah. It's more of a drag and drop kind of like do this, do that. But there is some coding involved as well. Yeah. So
get them started early, get them out there.
I thought that was pretty cool. It's like Lego, they're on a roll anyway with all this Minecraft Lego and shit like that. But they're taking it one step further. Minecraft? So I don't know if they're on. No, actually, they're Lego have got their own Minecraft game. So it's like a spin-off, and I think it's called like Lego Worlds or something, which is interesting as well, because you'd think Minecraft would be perfect. This almost goes together.
It's just digital Lego.
Yeah.
From someone who's never played the game, that is.
So that was one of the things. Another one is race to do live TV. So I don't know, are you a cable cutter? Do you pay for cable? Have you ever paid for cable?
Yeah. So. No, I don't. So, I don't.
Just a Netflix.
I watch everything on my phone.
Just a Netflix and all that lot. Well, there are people that want cable. What do we want cable for? We want it for sports. They want it for the NFL. They want it for their UFCs and stuff.
Yeah.
However, if you cut your cable, it's really hard to get that kind of stuff. So you've got companies like Apple that are trying to crack it. You've got Hulu who are trying to crack it. And then you've got like HBO who are offering like their package on all of these separate, companies. No one's really cracked it yet, and no one's cracked the interface. You'd think Apple would be on it with their Apple TV. However,
so what do you mean interface?
So interface is in like when you turn on your TV, what do you see, and how do you say I want to watch Game of Thrones? What Hulu are doing is they know that you like to watch Game of Thrones, they know that you like to watch New Girl, and they know that you like to watch Sherlock Holmes.
How do they know everything about me?
They know. You've given yourself a profile. Now, what Hulu are doing is it's a subscription service. So I think it's like $40.
Because they're following my Lego blocks.
They're following everything.
They've hacked my Lego.
Do,
That's what they've done.
But when you log on to Hulu, it says the first thing it says is who are you? So it's like, are you Paul? Are you Alec?
That's
so
usually what people say to me. Yeah. Who are you?
I'm Paul.
What are you doing in my bushes?
Into bushes. That just reminds me of Ada for some reason. Hopefully he's listening in.
They don't have radio in prison, do they?
In prison. Good Lord.
So what? Yeah, I still don't understand the problem. Like if you have cable.
I was trying to explain it to you, but you were just fucking about.
But why can't they figure out the interface? If they can read my Lego, then surely they've got the tech.
And that's what everyone's working on. So Hulu, what they're working on is as soon as you say, I am Paul, the first thing you see on your screen is there's a new Game of Thrones episode on. By the way, you've missed a couple of New Girls, and here is Sherlock Holmes as well. Or Sherlock Holmes is on next week. It knows that you watch that kind of stuff. It will also recommend other shows, but it's because you've logged on that. It's the way it displays it. Now, how do you watch Netflix? Do you watch it on a browser, on Apple TV? Apple TV have a fucking awful interface for Netflix. Really bad. Because
this week's sponsor is Apple TV. No, I watch on. I just watch on the browser, whatever I have.
Okay, so when you go
whatever
onto
browser I have,
when you go onto the browser, how do you know
I'm a man of the 90s. I know my tech.
Are you using a mouse, Microsoft mouse, for your browser?
Yeah, I tell the mouse to go and program the Lego to change the fucking channel.
But one thing with the interface for the browser is it shows all the exclusive shows to Netflix in a nice kind of card way. And these like
we were on
cards.
Hulu a minute ago. Stick to your stations.
I'm moving around to good interfaces. You asked about interfaces. The browser interface for Netflix is pretty good. The Apple TV interface, shite. So,
yeah.
However,
true.
when you log
Never
into these systems, they know what you like. They know what they serve up the content. Hulu are doing it slightly different because Netflix doesn't have live TV. So this is one thing Hulu's doing. Imagine you had Hulu on your TV right now. You could get a
All right, hang on. I got to imagine I have a TV. Now the TV's hula dancing. You said
your TV is your laptop.
That's true.
It's a screen. It's a screen.
All right, fine.
I'm trying to be a smart fuck. You get a notification saying Sherlock Holmes is on in 2 hours, and it will ask you, "Are you going to be home for this, or do you want me to save it for later?" So it's almost like a DVR in that way.
Yeah,
and it will just save it in the cloud for you. But it knows that you like Sherlock Holmes, and it might actually give you a notification tonight and saying like, "Oh, by the way, there's a behind the scenes. Do you want us to put on the DVR as well?" But it just texts you as a text notification.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. The interface in general, just like very fresh, like the look and feel of it as well. Like when you log in, you just get to see the shows that you want to see. You don't have to sieve through the shite and be like, "I'm not interested in this. I already watched this. Don't like it,"
Yeah.
So they're kind of sorting it that way. Anyway, this is just their take on it. There's so many companies trying to crack it, trying to crack live TV and interface TV.
So I guess with the live TVs, they have to stream it live and record it so that the moment it's over, people have access to it. Like you said, DVR'd it.
I think having access
like if I
to
come
it,
in late, like if I'm 10 minutes late,
yeah,
I want to be able to just start at the start.
I think that's okay because they have the program. It's like someone just pressing a play button and saying, "Oh, you want to play it now?" I think that's okay. It's how they let you know that this is live and how they let you know that you can save it later. And then also price as well. So Hulu are doing $40, and I think you get this is for America. You get a lot of the basic channels and some sport channels there as well. The sports one being the highlight, but I think it's just like whoever is streaming Netflix today and it's only got Netflix, they've got to be missing live TV. They've got to be missing like the weather or Jeopardy or whatever is on.
Yeah,
live
like
TV.
there was the UFC fights on last night.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I want to watch that. I don't want to buy a $70 or $80 cable package just to watch that and the football I watch on the weekend.
Yeah. It's not worth it. You want to buy like a little package, UFC package, and have it on your thing. And that's what Hulu are trying to do. They're trying to make it so that I have Hulu. Okay, I'm going to pay a $7 UFC package. Boom. You're going to get a notification in an hour, and it's going to say, UFC is on soon. Are you going to be home to watch it, or you're out of the lads? Do you want me to DVR it? So it does this for you. It knows that you like it.
Because Netflix started their thing with, you can download
and that's pretty cool as well.
For a week, isn't it?
That's a pretty big thing, actually.
Yeah.
Especially if you're traveling and planes and stuff.
Exactly.
Just download Stranger Things, please.
Yeah.
Boom. And then you can watch it offline. So that's interesting. I don't think you got any of that, but but that is a big thing going on, and it's continuing. Another cool one was Intel. Intel are known for their CPUs. They had this massive fucking drone.
KB Lake
light show.
I know that.
Oh, you know that?
KB Lake. Didn't see that coming.
I keep calling it Kirby Lake, like the fucking Nintendo Kirby character.
Oh, the little pink
guy,
thing.
Yeah. Calling that. I know you know about the Intel stuff because you're looking for a new laptop, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know KB Lake is the best.
Can't render these podcasts properly. It's like,
no, I can't.
No, but Intel, they came up with this drone fireworks system. So basically, it's a light show. It's not fireworks, but it's to kind of compete with fireworks. They had, I think it was 500 drones, and they were all controlled through one laptop. And the laptop told them what formation to do. So they basically said, like, spell out the Intel logo. And they all flew up at the exact same time with lights kind of streaming behind them. And then they moved around the sky, did like fireworks and stuff. But then they also would hover in the sky to form logos and stuff. It was pretty awesome. But because there were over 500 of them in the sky, they made a Guinness Book World Record with that as well.
Oh, yeah?
But it was just pretty awesome because I was just saying it was controlled from one laptop wirelessly, obviously in a big kind of airfield. But yeah, the kind of stuff you can do with that, you say everyone, each drone pick up an object, or you can build a structure, or you do sports or something like that with it. So I thought that was kind of cool. That one you have to look up, but the actual pictures for it were pretty sweet. Seeing 500 drones with like a blue light trailing behind them looked fucking awesome.
That's what they talk about. That's the future of construction. They're going to get drones to just like build up all these skyscrapers because it's safer. You don't have to put anybody up there and harnesses.
The one I like is like 3D printing and stuff. Obviously that's a big thing.
Yeah.
They want to bring a big 3D printer up to like the moon and Mars, and then they just want to 3D print buildings while they're up there. So they're just going to 3D print a whole fucking Mars base, but all they need to do is just they just need to bring up a big 3D printer, and then from then on they just need to bring up materials for it.
Yeah,
this is this big. Imagine a big crane. It takes a while to get it up there onto Mars, but you got this massive crane system, and then you just bring it the materials, and it's like, I'm going to print a house. I'll print 5 houses. That's pretty awesome.
I'll print as many houses as I want because there's no one here to stop me on Mars. I can do what I want. They're for the children with their Lego robots.
This one's not really connected to CES, but I think it's pretty interesting. So have you watched The Hunger Games? I've only actually seen like
one. I've watched like 3 of them.
I think I've only seen the first one or second one. I don't know. But the whole concept of it, have you heard about this thing happening in
Killing
Russia?
children? Wait, did I jump ahead there? I jumped ahead.
Might have jumped ahead.
Continue.
The Russian real-life show of the Hunger Games. So there's a TV
Again,
show.
that doesn't rule out killing children, though.
No, it really doesn't. No, it really doesn't. Apparently, they're coming up with, like, the Hunger Games. It's going to be a TV show, and they're going to film everything. It's going to be 24/7 live. You can log in. But they're going to show everything. So even if someone, like, was to get battered or kicked in, they've actually said they're going to keep on filming, and you'll be able to watch it all.
Russia.
Which is just
no wonder
mental.
Trump likes you so much.
So I think that's kicking off soon.
So wait, what's a Hunger Games then?
Well, I think it's I don't know the films that well, but isn't it like you fight
But in
for
the
survival?
Hunger Games, it's the same as like Battle Royale. You know the Japanese one?
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
They send like 12 or whatever, 13 people or 12 representatives. Someone out there is freaking out that I can't get this right. Katniss, I got that.
Right.
They send a pair from each district, and so it's like 24 of them all in there.
Right.
And then it's the last one standing. So they all get released at the same time into this main area where there's all these weapons.
Yeah.
And then it's just like they kill each other until like there's only one left.
I think that's basically what's happening is like they're being released into like Chernobyl or something.
God.
Somewhere. And they've got, I don't know about the weapons. They're not giving them axes or anything, but they're releasing them and saying like whoever is the winner wins this.
But that's the thing. How do you win then? Like, is it?
I mean,
Chernobyl, and they're just going to have to survive till one of them has radiation. I'm just guessing here, but
I'm guessing like if it's 24/7 monitored, like if someone can forfeit, a bit like in paintball, like if you're shot or if you want out, hand up, you're gone. So maybe after like a week of like just being on your own, someone might be like, I can't fucking handle, I'm out of here. But maybe like if you do come across someone and maybe they have like knocked you out or kicked you on the floor or strung you up, you could be like, okay, I'm done.
Oh, okay. It's like a live version of, what's that show? I think it's called
It's Disturbing.
Alone or something. There's like an American show.
Right, yeah.
Where they do that and they have like people left alone for whoever stays the longest out there wins.
I figure it's something like that, but if you do come across each other, you can do anything you want. I mean, I don't know. Can you drown the person?
That's what I mean.
So there's going to be police waiting for you after the show, but you've won $1 million.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, but not really CES related, but still, it was on my list tuning in. So.
No, that's going to be the next thing Hulu recommends for you when you go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Live now. Someone is getting their head beaten in by a Russian child.
Oh, save this for now and put it on the DVR.
Yeah, it's not important. Watch it later.
Another bit of tech news which I thought was pretty awesome. This one I really like. I want to hear your thoughts on this. But did you know this week, or last week I should say, is 10 years since the iPhone was announced. So Steve Jobs 10 years ago announced the iPhone. Didn't bring it out. I don't think it came out until September or something. He was basically had the BlackBerry on the screen. He had like a Sony Ericsson and he had another Nokia or something like that. And he was like, this is currently what we're using. And then he threw up the iPhone, started scrolling through his finger, and everyone's like, oh my God. It was just crazy.
All right.
10 years ago.
Quick question.
But yeah.
What's an iPhone?
And we're done here, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. Well, you're an Android user. Have you ever used an iPhone?
Yeah, I've used an iPhone.
But it's obviously the Androids have all copied the iPhone with their icons.
Well, the great thing is that like the
screens.
iPhones that we have today are exactly the same as the iPhone Steve Jobs used 10 years ago, right?
I'd say so. Just a little bit faster.
Just a little bit faster.
And the screen's a little brighter. In fact, they probably make a worse phone call.
Yeah. So it's a 10-year anniversary of that.
It is a 10-year anniversary. That changed everything, man. I mean, like having a touch screen. Before that,
they're still living on the back of that whole. It's changed everything again. No, it hasn't. It hasn't changed anything again.
But 10 years ago, we were playing Snake.
And he took it from us, that bastard.
He did.
Yeah.
Because that's not in the app store.
And now he's dead. Coincidence? I don't think so.
That's harsh.
I didn't say I did it. Snake did it. Somebody hit him with a Nokia through a window. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. 10 years since they've had the iPhone.
I thought, did you, when was the first smartphone you had with a touchscreen? Because I remember when you came to Canada, you didn't have a bloody phone.
Don't start this again. It's not my fault. I don't understand phones or tech.
Paul used to
Why
say,
I'm on this podcast, no one has yet discerned.
Paul used to say, like, I'll meet you down at the bar at 8 o'clock. And then it came to about 7:30, and me and the guys were like, we're running a little late. And we're like, no, we can't. Because Paul's just waiting there with no phone at the bar at 8 o'clock. Because he said 8 o'clock, and he meant 8 o'clock. So we're all like, damn it, we got to come down.
That's the way it used to be.
We got to
when
come
I grew
down.
Up.
It is the way it used to be. There was no home phone. There's no landline for you.
No one got to be a dickhead back in the day. If you didn't turn up, you didn't have an excuse. You couldn't be like, I've just
it's true.
Tried it and I'm doing this and that and I'm just going to
I'm running
emoji,
late.
smiley face, hashtag humble. No, you didn't get to do that. It's if you didn't turn up, you were the dickhead who missed everyone's like birthday party.
It's like, true.
Why do you come to my birthday party? Oh, well, I don't care. Because no one could ask you that because you weren't there.
Nowadays, it's basically like, sorry, running behind, really, really busy. I just saw you Snapchat a second ago.
Exactly,
You're outside the building.
Like, how many relationships nowadays have been ruined or like cheaters have been caught by people? Not just like looking through a phone, but like, oh yeah, I'm just going to stay in tonight. Don't worry about it. And then Instagram posts. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm such a great night. I can see your goddamn Instagram, right?
Well, that's another study. I mean, spawning off this whole iPhone stuff.
Oh, sorry. There was a quick story when your brother, he nearly ruined that surprise party that one time.
Oh, that was good.
Because you were all, I wasn't there because I didn't have a phone. No, but whatever it was. It was like somewhere down in the country.
Yeah.
You had this all set up for like this guy. And then he said, checking in, and he checked in at where the party was. Yeah. And then the guy is like, what, did he ring him or something?
I was.
He did. He rang him. He was like, oh, are you coming out tonight? He's like, no, press that.
No, I just, I was like, oh, you're only down the road. You're at the, this bar that I like.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll come on down. It is my birthday. And he's like, no. He realized then he fucked up. He was like, I'm just going to be here for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what, you're just having a 10-minute pint? Or, Yeah, he almost fucked it all up from that check-in.
Yeah.
So, which we'll never let that go. But one of the other things that spawned off from the iPhone, a touchscreen and just having Facebook.
Apple Maps. What a change that was, eh?
Oh,
the world is so much better.
Yeah, I remember actually Apple Maps is another thing. Like there was someone got lost in Australia. The maps just did not map Australia very well. Someone was driving
How can you not map Australia well?
Someone was
All
driving
you gotta do
down...
is put 3 cities and then a bunch of kangaroos. That's it. How hard is that?
The kangaroos.
Sorry,
real
Australia,
time bouncing around.
I've never been there. I don't have to respect you.
But someone was trying to find his mate's place or something, and he was driving... I don't even know how he managed this, but Apple Maps sent him down a runway for like an airport. So he's like driving like, it's very open here. And then suddenly he's like, well, I don't know if there was a plane coming towards him, but he was like, no, this is a fucking airport. But yeah, the one thing I was going to say is the whole scrolling through your phone. We've got these big screens we can scroll through. You got Facebook. They've actually, it's pretty obvious anyway, but they've actually, browsing through Facebook every day gives you depression because you're just looking at other people's lives.
Yeah.
You're looking through a window and you're looking like the amount of people that are on Facebook, they're checking it like every half an hour, every hour and going like, well, why are they doing this? Why are they going here? And
everyone's got a great life except you.
It depresses you, and it's just like, well, why are you fucking looking at your phone?
Yeah.
And why are you, I find that remarkable. The amount of people.
It's a psychological thing they've studied up on. It's called it's a negative feedback loop, right? So when you post something, you get that little endorphin rush when people like it.
Right.
So then you check it again to see if somebody's responded to you or they've answered your message. And you get your little red thing.
Yeah, I heard about
and you're
that.
like, oh, thank God somebody's. And so you're getting this like connection with somebody. But what's happening is you're creating less and less of a connection every time you go back. So obviously, you get your first surge of a post. And then what's happened is you go back and check it. And you're like, oh no, there was only 2 people liked it. Then you go back and check it and only 1 person liked it. And then eventually nobody liked it. And that's when you hit the negative feedback where it's like you're not getting any response.
Yeah.
So you do something else to get a response. But what's happening is you're just constantly checking now.
Yeah.
Just to see if you can have some connection with people.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if it's 4:00 in the morning. You hit refresh and nothing comes up. You're like, oh, what? What? You have that like momentary
blown away by it.
Oh,
the worrying thing is that we grew up with our Nokias. We grew up with nothing. And then we were the generation that got the Nokia and got those snake and everything. But now we've got kids growing up with that. They're growing up knowing or thinking, that like, well, I need to get like at least 100 likes. Otherwise, it's not worthy, it's just, it's pretty sad. It's worrying as well. But going back to the iPhone, 10 years old, remarkable, amazing. I got one on launch day. I traveled over from England.
A tradition you've kept ever since.
I still have it. I tell a lie. Crazy thing about it was you couldn't even change the bloody background to it. Like the background was set wallpapers. Like you can have an earth, or you can have black, or you can have this. But I think it took like 3 years before you can change the bloody wallpaper and stuff.
You're spoiled. That's your problem. You're spoiled now.
So, yeah.
All your coding.
All the coding and the Lego.
Why can't I have a Lego background?
A Lego hacker. But yeah, that was kind of the roundup of tech talk. I don't know if there's any other tech talk you want to talk about.
I don't know. I can check. What did I look at this week? Not
what
much.
Did you?
Oh, there was one piece of tech.
Oh, yeah?
See this? I did a bit of tech reading today.
Let's see if I know.
No, this wasn't it wasn't a tech piece. It was...
So you've just lied to us.
It was a poker piece.
Okay.
And there's an AI system currently playing. I think it's started last week. It's going this week. It's going for 20 days, playing 4 human players.
Oh, yeah.
And they're playing for, I think, $100,000 each, or in shares or whatever.
Nice.
It did it in 2015, and I can't remember, it played like for 10 days or something.
Yeah.
And it lost, or it didn't come out ahead. And the guy said, it needs to play more hands. It needs to play over 100,000 hands in order to get ahead. So they said, okay, we'll play for 20 days and we'll get that many games going.
Yeah.
So this is in Pittsburgh. And it's an AI that is actually playing poker against human players.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
I want to see what the results of that are. As well. And this is after last year, they had the AI that played Go.
Right.
And beat the human player.
Oh, wow.
Can
you imagine once they put that AI in like a droid that looks like human? He's wearing a shades thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's playing with like the Texas Hold'em guys on midnight TV and stuff.
Well, you don't even have to, like that's the thing. If you can create a program that can play poker, you're rich. Because most poker's online now.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So just do all the hands for you and stuff.
So these Pittsburgh guys are just like, I'm going to be so rich.
Yeah.
But it's an actual school. It's like the Pittsburgh.
And there might be rulings like...
Or no, it's California.
There might be rulings like you have to prove that you're not a bot and stuff like that. But
I know this thing is playing as good as a human.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like the Turing test. It's like, how do you prove you're human?
You have to cut a bit of your skin off. No, that's cool though. I like that.
But between that, the machine that beat the Go player and, Deep Blue back in the day playing the chess players.
Yeah.
Like that was the big thing I remember when Deep Blue and Kasparov played their chess game.
Yeah.
And there was always that rumor that either IBM cheated or the machine actually learned a skill.
Yeah.
And it's never been assembled since. They took it apart and there's 2 halves and they put it in different parts of the thing. It was like this cool thing of like, it's so brilliant. We can never put it back together. But since then, you've had that thing on Jeopardy. Yeah. You've had the guy lose at Go.
Mm.
And that's supposed to be even more difficult to learn than chess because it's more intuitive.
Wow.
Now you got guys playing poker against... Like, we're very close to being killed off. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, Cybernet is
Someone's going to put one of these in a Lego and we're just done for.
Yeah. Drag and drop. Off you go.
So, like, I love everything up until the singularity happens. And then I'm just going to be like,
course.
I told you it was coming. Didn't I tell you? The robots, they were always playing poker against us. We should have seen it coming. Dickheads.
Another 5 years, you and me, doing this podcast in the rags, the city's in ruins.
Yeah.
We told you.
We told you. Your mics aren't plugged in. We can't plug in. The robots will know.
Yeah. We can use our iPhone 1s.
So what was, like, for the general though, what was the biggest thing that came out of CES?
I mean, like, CES is usually known for its, like, TVs, so obviously there's 4K TVs, there's 8K TVs, and they're getting lower and lower cost. So for TVs, it was like OLED, so super nice blacks and colors and everything. 4K HDR is now a TV thing, so that was a big thing at CES. Apparently, I can't remember the name of the company, but there was a car, like an iCar, and it was like a self-driving car, but the interface and dashboard and just, it was like a Tesla basically, but it looked super future. It looked like something out of iRobot, but it's ready to go in like 3 years. But it looked like a super futuristic car.
Cool.
Self-driving, no steering wheels like we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
All that lot. And then what was, just the usual gadgets. I mean, there were some ridiculous ones that we mentioned last week, the hairbrush and all that lot, but
still not real.
It's always a fun show. Like, we should go one year. We should go.
We should.
So,
let's go next year.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas, baby.
So, a good old...
Nothing wrong could possibly happen with us
start
going
of
to
January.
Vegas.
Not at all.
No. I don't understand it. He's stabbed the robot in the face. He knows what he did.
They were just playing chess. All right. Well, I think that does the tech stuff. I've got some gaming news.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm officially... No, I've lied there. So I've gone off. I think of gaming this week has been Nintendo. Nintendo have announced their Switch console and more details on it. They had a press conference in Japan, and there's a lot of people that are loving it. There's a lot of people that are fucking hating it. I don't know if you know much about
What is it?
Nintendo Switch. I don't know why I wanted to do the whole Japanese thing there and be racist.
That was a terrible Japanese
It wasn't very good. Nintendo Switch.
That was a bit better.
Okay, that was a bit better. Basically, what it is a console.
That's why people come here.
It's the new
flawless impressions.
It's the new Nintendo console. You can play on your TV, but you can also bring it with you because it's mobile. So you can be playing on your TV.
Wait, what?
So you're playing Zelda on the TV.
Yeah.
And it's a tablet, but it's plugged into your TV in a little dock. And you're playing the new Zelda, and you're like, okay, this is great. And suddenly I'm like, Paul, we need to do this new podcast. You can just slip the tablet up out of the dock.
Right.
And you can start playing the exact same game, all the same graphics and everything, and you can play it on the tablet. So you're on the TTC, you're on the bus, you're coming up, you're playing it.
Right.
So that's the main thing with it, is like you can play at home, but you can take it with you, and there's no compromises. It's not like you take the tablet with you and you're only playing like a shitty version of the game. You're playing the exact same game. So
how big is this tablet?
It's like the size of like an iPad mini, and then on the sides of it are the controllers. So you're not tapping the actual screen, though it is a touch screen. You're actually, there's two kind of controllers like slides onto the side, so it's quite long, but you've got a big nice screen. And then when you get home, so you've played some more Zelda on it, just slide it back into your dock, and then it's on the TV and you can keep on playing. So it's kind of cool for that.
Sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
Sounds ridiculous enough to be cool.
Yeah, and that's what Nintendo do. Nintendo like to kind of do things differently. They can't compete with the PlayStation. They can't compete with Xbox.
Oh, hang on, I can see it here. Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah.
It's like, it's...
The trouble is...
Yeah, iPad mini size, yeah.
Couple of things wrong with it. First one, it's out on the 3rd of March, which everyone loves. It's out real soon. So you didn't even know what the blooming thing looked like.
So hang on. Nintendo, this is the new company out, right? Nintendo, that's the new company.
The new Nintendo company.
And they're bringing out this brand new... Yeah. No, so I didn't know. I remember someone was talking about there's a new Zelda game, like a new open world Zelda.
Yeah. That's coming out on,
and that's on this, the little mini thing.
That's coming out on that. So that's going to be a big sell. The trouble they're having is they don't have really anything else. They've got a couple of other games here or there, but nothing that kind of... Everyone's going to be focusing on Zelda, but they're going to complete Zelda in like a month or whatever.
Oh, but Mario. They got to have a Mario game out, right?
But they're going to have a Mario, but it's not going to be out until like Christmas or something. So they've announced one. So you're going to have like about a 7-month period of like not very many games.
Everyone playing Zelda.
So just playing Zelda, pretty much. And there's a couple of games like Bomberman's coming out. And
I'll play that for 7 months.
Bomberman's cool.
Yeah.
But the trouble with the system is because it's a tablet, it's kind of low power. So it looks, compared to like a PS4 and Xbox, it looks a lot lower res. So people are trying to weigh up, like, is it worth getting? It's $400 in Canada. So fairly expensive.
So it's competing with the Xbox.
It's competing with the price of that,
yeah.
But I think the big flaw a lot of people are saying as well is that they shouldn't have marketed it as a game console. They should have marketed it as a mobile console that you can plug into your TV. But they've actually done it the other way around. They've said, you can play this on your TV, but hey, you can bring it with you. So I think they should switch it. I think they should say this is a mobile console, because then the expectation of like having a mobile game with lower res graphics, but then you can suddenly plug it into your TV and play it. I think that sounds better than play on a TV in low res and then
if you're not
So-
competing with a PlayStation and an Xbox in the TV world, then just beat them on the portable.
mobile side. Yeah. So maybe it's a language thing. Maybe they can fix that. But yeah, so the price and then the games are their low point. But it'll be interesting, you know. And apparently they said they've got 2 million to launch with. So on the 3rd of March, there's going to be 2 million out there.
What about Pokemon Go? Is that going to be on this thing?
No, I think they're going to announce it. But Japan,
See, they missed a trick there.
Yeah, they should have announced a lot more games. But they were a very old school company. I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true. But so the Wii U.
It's definitely true.
The Wii U did terrible. The Wii did so well.
That is true. That is an actual. That's not a rumor.
Apparently, Nintendo have so much money that they have enough money for like the next 4 consoles just to fail, and then it could be like, just do it again. And they can fail. And go, let's just do it again. Whereas like PlayStation or Microsoft, if that happens like twice, they're like, and we're done. You know? So, but Nintendo just have so much money they can afford to do that. I like that they kind of change it up and they're not competing with Xbox. They're not like it's all about the graphics. You know, they're doing gameplay stuff like those controllers on the side of the tablet. They're like kind of Wii controllers, and you can play different kind of games with those. They got gyroscopes in them and stuff. So yeah, it will be interesting to see. So,
dude, it's like
I've kind of lost love with Nintendo. I haven't played like a proper Mario game for a while.
What's the thing? Like Nintendo to me is like that's why I don't understand they don't market it for mobile and for like kids in the back of the car in between, you know, going from here to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, it's still got that view now, at least along our generation, as being older.
Yeah.
By older, I mean like from the past, which means when we were younger, youngish kind of games. Like the first thing I thought of was Mario.
Right. Yeah.
So it's that kind of not simple game, but certainly like cartoon fun.
Yeah.
You know, Mario Kart, Bomberman, those kind of like everyone's involved, everyone's having fun games. You don't think Dead Space.
No.
You're not thinking Left 4 Dead 4 or anything like that. You're just like, these are games, kids to have fun and, you know, run around and lots of colors and it's bright. So trying to market it as if it's going to be a console doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah.
Because all the console gamers want to sit there with their headsets shouting at each other for being,
that's the thing,
you know, campers and, you know, get the hell off my lawn kind of crap.
And the ironic thing is, like, they've got their Nintendo DS, which is really, really popular, and it's a mobile system. So they should have just, like, maybe even called it, like, another DS or something, a DS Pro or something like that. Because then people would have been like, oh, it's mobile, and that's all those games I'm used to. Oh, and I can plug it into my TV. Yeah. So we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. It should be interesting.
Well, like you said, they can make this fail, and then they can make the next 4 fail, and no one gives a shit.
And no one gives a shit, apart from them, but they've got so much money. And then the other two guys, Microsoft and PlayStation. So I get a feeling that you're a Microsoft guy. You used to have an Xbox 360.
Xbox, yeah.
So they're down the shitter this year. So something's going on with them. They've got no exclusives, like so games that are going to sell their system. They've got Halo, they've got Gears of War, and then they've got Forza, which is a driving game.
Yeah.
Those are like their 3 big franchises, and they kind of last year they all came out.
Yeah, there's the new
well for them,
Gear of War, yeah.
But this year they've had a lot of them cancel, and like you can't just always rely on those 3 people.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation have like shit tons of exclusives. They've got like well over 15 to 20 this year, like unique games that you can't get on Steam or on PC. So they're doing well that way. But Microsoft, they're just not doing too well there. And then at the end of this year, they've got, do you know about Project Scorpio? Do you know what that is? It's their like...
Oh, the 4K
system. It's their 4K system. So everyone's wondering like, what is this going to be? How much is it going to be? Like some people are rumored it's going to be like $600 for the system, and it's going to be like a beast powerhouse. But then you could argue that, okay, I'm going to spend $600, but what games have you got? And like I was saying, like they've got Gears, they've got Halo, and they've got Forza. Well, what else have you got? Like, what happens if you don't like driving games? And what happens if you don't like shoot 'em ups? Well, that's Gears and Halo both gone.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you got PlayStation, you've got like a whole range of games, lots of exclusives. You got loads of Japanese games, playful games like Little Big Planet. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a tough year for Microsoft. Something like we'll keep doing these podcasts, but something's going to crack this year. I think Microsoft's going to crack, and I don't know what they're going to do. They're either going to put a lot of money behind their Xbox, or I could predict that like the end of this year, if Scorpio doesn't do well, then into next year, like Microsoft might like possibly call it quits on like the gaming. They might just do like Windows gaming or something like that.
It has to be. Why would they throw away so much money?
I know, yeah. They're doing horribly in Japan. No one in Japan buys their console. The Western market obviously like their console, and they do make money off it. But the thing is, right now, is that on Steam and on PC and on PlayStation, you can buy all these games. You could buy FIFA. You can buy all the general kind of games. But why would you buy an Xbox just to kind of play FIFA? Like you can buy a PlayStation to play FIFA or a PC and have FIFA. What's so different about having FIFA on an Xbox, you know? And there isn't anything right now. The only difference with the Xbox is you can also play Halo, Gears, Forza, and a couple of other games. They're just losing a lot of their pros, you know?
Isn't the Scorpio...
Yeah.
Hank Scorpio. Isn't that also supposed to be the headset one, the one where you're going to have 3D?
It's just going to power that,
VR,
so you're going to have to play that. It's basically going to be paired up with Oculus Rift. So
yeah.
But it'll be interesting because like Microsoft could go too powerful, and then it's too much money. And like, can you imagine like you're a teenage kid?
So what games? Hang on, what games do PlayStation have then? Because I don't have either of them anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Like, because like you said, you don't have anything exclusive on Xbox.
Yeah.
But has the market, is it still that way? Is it still like, oh, the exclusive one's the one that I want?
It is kind of going that way. Let me just read out a couple of PlayStation
Because like, when I think
ones,
of like the big games, like you said, it's like, you know, FIFA's on everything, NHL's on everything.
But that's a game that's on everything.
Even Final Fantasy now is on all of them. And that used to be just PlayStation.
Yeah, it's not on PC. I mean, the four big guys with Nintendo, but just reading out some ones that are already out on PlayStation. You've got Uncharted. So Uncharted is like the Indiana Jones series. Right, yeah. So that's pretty awesome. You've got this other one called Ratchet and Clank, which is like a really cool sci-fi cartoon series. You've got indie games. You've got loads and loads of indie games. There's like 5 or 6 really, really popular ones. There's this one called The Last Guardian. I don't know if you've heard about that, but it's with this kind of dog-looking furry creature, but I haven't explained that at all. But you've got this one called Tearaway, which is like
just
a cool
shitting on people's favorite games here.
Just shitting them. God of War, you know, we all love that. They've got this one called Until Dawn, which is like a horror game, which looks awesome. These are already out. Got another one called Gravity Rush, which is a Japanese game where you can like completely turn gravity and fly in all different directions. You've got The Last of Us, which is like a post-apocalyptic game. Yeah. And then you've got coming up, you've got like this one called Horizon Zero Dawn, which looks incredible.
So is it just that PlayStation or Sony are spending more money on development?
They've got studios which they give money, and the studios are now done so well because they've been around since PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. So they've just got studios that are making these games, and then Sony are giving them money and saying like, be exclusive for us and we'll give you this chunk of money.
Yeah,
but some of them are actual PlayStation studios, so they were saying like, oh, we're going to form the studio, and I think they've got like 15 or something. Whereas
so what's the problem then? Is it just Xbox or not Xbox? Microsoft are just their development or what? Not their development, but their spending. They're just like, we're not going to put any money into Xbox. It doesn't matter. We're going to put all our money into the Surface or the tablets.
They put some into games, but then
you would think Microsoft have enough money to spread around.
Yeah, apparently they put a lot into games. So they had like these studios making unique games for them. But then the last like 6 months, 5 of those games got cancelled. So they're like, cancel. And then they're like, never mind, we've got Gears of War coming out. And everyone's like, okay, that's great, but it's out. It was out, you know, at Christmas or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, well, what have you got coming up? And their whole schedule this year is just like... But then they're like, but we've got Project Scorpio, like this really, really cool console, like powerful console. But everyone's like, that's great, but I don't want to pay $600 for it, and I don't have a game to play. Like, you want a unique game to play on it. Like, you want to be like, I'm going to get Project Scorpio, and I'm going to play, you know, Halo 7, you know, the new Halo, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, it looks amazing. It's 4K, Halo 7. And I know that after I buy that console, I've got 5 other games that you can only play on this system coming up. But right now, it's just like, hello? You know, it's like an echoed room. Whereas PlayStation are just like, boom, boom, every month. It's just like, you can have this. They're bringing back Crash Bandicoot. I don't know if you remember that one. Like the crazy kind of furry looking dude.
Wait, they're going like Hollywood route and they're just going to start redoing old games?
They've been doing that for a while as well.
Everybody just want GoldenEye then? Men 64.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's one thing is I think Microsoft do own Rare, the guys that did GoldenEye. So they should do that. That's one of the things they should do. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting year for them as well. Obviously, Nintendo coming in with their new console, they might make some damage. They might not.
So does this mean we're going to have to start doing reviews on just PlayStation games?
Well, we're going to just the best games, just the best.
Well, I mean, like if you're going to start doing reviews on game and the game's on both consoles, you might as well just do it on the PlayStation.
We're going to have to buy it.
But then we'll just do we're going to have to buy it. Well, do we? No, not the Nintendo. I don't want to play the Nintendo.
You can play it on the go. As you come down here to visit, you can take it out. Nintendo Switch.
So how about you play like the really difficult games and I'll play like the really easy games?
Why don't I watch you play the difficult ones and just slag you off?
Yeah, that works too.
And the viewers can do that as well.
Yeah.
The viewers can do that as well.
Yeah, we'll live stream me having a breakdown. You know I'm not great playing games.
No.
You just get so angry.
Controller and the game just go in the bin.
Yeah, so if my controller is my console, I've just lost $400 because Mario wouldn't make that fucking jump I told him to make.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. But yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this, coming year of the games as well. But it will be an interesting one. So we got Nintendo, March the 3rd. We'll be back doing some reviews of that or how that's doing. We've got Microsoft. We're going to keep an eye on their sparseness and see what games they've got. And obviously, Project Scorpio will be out towards the end of the year. And then we've got PlayStation, which are doing really well at the moment. Will the momentum continue? I don't know. But every month
you say they're doing well. But if I get a PlayStation and it's shit, I'm going to throw it at your head.
Well, you've got everyone in this podcast as a witness. A voice or an echo. What the hell am I saying? Echo witness?
Echo witness. I don't know. I'm keeping
made something up there.
We got some echo witnesses. That's the name of our loyal listeners. The echo witnesses.
All right. I think that leads us into some movie talk. I've got a few pointers here, but I don't know if you want to hit us off with anything.
Sure. What's a movie, Alex?
A movie? A film? Or a movie? Actually,
does anybody come here expecting us to actually teach anything?
Do you still say cinema or do you say theatre? Or what? Sometimes I say, I'm going to the theatre, but I'm not.
Oh, cinema.
Fuck the theatre. Like, the theatre is like,
I can't even say
Phantom
it.
of the Opera. Theatre.
I can't even say it. Yeah, it's Phantom of the Opera, which is fine. I'm not saying don't go. Plays are awesome, but cinema's a cinema.
What's going on this week with films, man? Or with movies?
Nothing happened this week.
Nothing?
No, the big thing was, I guess, well, I don't know. Did we give a shit about the Golden Globe?
I had one thing down on my notes about this.
Golden Globe?
Have you seen this friggin' La La Land?
No. Heard it's amazing. Emma Stone was great in it, and Ryan Gosling was great in it. And that's getting a lot of the Oscar buzz because that's how it works now. It's like whatever starts winning the Golden Globes, what starts winning the Producers Award, the Directors Award, all those things usually signal where you're going to go down the line.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like everyone was talking about the Meryl Streep speech.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about that. That's not what we do here. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
She can say what she wants. It's her speech. Fuck
it. Of course, yeah. I mean, like, valid topic and everything, but yeah, it's just like, I feel like everyone goes up there on stage and has their own, like, 5 minutes of fame or whatever. I mean, hers was...
Meryl Streep, 5 minutes of fame.
5 minutes of fame, yeah. But,
what's she ever done?
We're not here to talk about all that. But yeah, I was just curious about La La Land and if you'd seen it or whatever, but I didn't really see you going to the cinema to watch that. I'm sure the wife will see it.
I thought about going to cinema to see it. I just haven't had a chance to get around to it.
Yeah.
But I've heard, like, it is really great.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those films, it's like, do you remember The Artist?
Yes, yeah.
Who's silent and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I love that film.
Right.
And obviously, I love all classics and watch all that. So I think La La Land's going to be right up my alley.
Right.
It's that Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers era of, like, big dancing productions.
And of course, we like, I was going to say Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. We like all the Ryans.
I did like the whole Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling thing, though.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. So.
But other than that, it's just like we're in January. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, totally.
January is the shittest month of the year.
Yeah, I was looking at IMDb and I was trying to see like when's the next film that I want to see that comes out, or when's it going to come out. I'm waiting for Arrival, so I haven't seen Arrival yet. Have you seen Arrival?
I've seen Arrival.
So,
Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. I like that.
I skipped out on Passengers because I heard awful things, but I still want to see it. But I skipped out on it. So. You just don't look happy right now.
Well, the thing about Passengers that annoyed me was like the script for Passengers was on the blacklist in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. The blacklist is simply films.
It's not like when you just don't want it there?
It's a film that hasn't gotten made for whatever reason. Like, it was in production and then the director dropped out, or it's a bunch of scripts that are like the best scripts that haven't been made. And at the top of this list, like the writers are always talking about, Passengers is the one to go for. Passengers is like, this is the one everyone should be making. And I'd only heard that buzz about the script, and I never even read the script about it. And it comes out and it's got like the two biggest Hollywood stars right now, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, that was one thing that kind of put me off, to be honest. Is that having them in there kind of puts it into that Hollywood storyline. Whereas if it was two unknown actors, but the same plot, I would have been like, oh shit, okay, I don't know who these two people are. And also, I like the look of this film, but the fact that it was Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence kind of put a downer on it for me, actually.
Because they're too
Hollywood. Chris Pratt's funny.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it was going to be too safe.
Yeah. Whereas you got Sunshine does have famous actors in it, but they weren't like as famous back then. So I didn't know that. I was going to call him Chris Evans for a second. Captain America from Sunshine.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him that well at the time, so when he was in that and then the rest of the crew from Sunshine, I was like, oh, this is a great film, love this film. And then the cast as well, don't know the cast. Whereas with Passengers, I feel like if they just had some nobodies as the cast, I probably would have watched the film. But knowing that it wasn't doing too well in reviews and it had a Hollywood cast, I was like, okay. I'm going to just wait for a DVD release. So,
and not just a Hollywood
cast,
so. Like the biggest Hollywood cast.
Of course, yeah. So
the thing about the film, though, when I was mentioning the script, is that was written by the same writer who did Prometheus.
Oh, was it?
Like, this is what I mean. Like, it was one of these scripts of like, oh, it's like Prometheus. It's going to be this crazy adventure.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen it, so I can't spoil it for anybody.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's like you said, it's a Hollywood movie, and it's just...
I've heard the ending is atrocious, but I don't know. I could watch it and I could bloody love it.
That's general news. The biggest news this week for the kind of stuff that we like, good old comic book movies.
Oh, yeah.
Is there was a new image from Justice League. I don't know if you saw it.
I'm not sure I did.
5 characters. It was Batman, Wonder Woman, blah, blah. Which is weird because there is supposed to be 7. Now, I know they're not going to show Superman.
Yeah.
They're not going to show him.
Yeah.
But everyone's still wondering, is there actually going to be
silver
7?
or dark or something in it?
Yeah, he might have his dark costume, Silver S.
Yeah.
So they had that new image and it looked like shiny and, everything was colourful. Wonder Woman was colourful and I was like, oh, they've gone up a thing.
Yeah.
But right on the heels of that, Batman movie has been delayed.
Yeah, because Ben Affleck has doubts or something, or he's not sure.
Ben Affleck has had doubts from the start.
Yeah,
and we talked about this last week and you said he was definitely in. He's definitely in to direct it.
Yeah.
But he's not in
yet
to write it.
Yeah.
So they've like pushed that back. And it's like you said, it might be he's like worried that Justice League isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And he might just be like, I'm sick of this now.
I think that's what it is. I think that Justice League is going to come out. It's going to be a bit of a dud at the end. And then he's going to be like, but watch my movie.
Yeah.
And then no one's going to care, even if it's a great script.
That is the rumor. The rumor is like Justice League's a mess.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like that film started filming a week after Batman v Superman finished.
Oh, God.
So that was filming.
They've been going a while.
Yeah, that was filming.
And I'm guessing they're doing
reshoots.
As
Suicide Squad was being.
Are they doing reshoots on that or something? Or?
Well, like, are you even going to reshoot something when you know it's already broken from the start?
Well, some of these people are deluded. They don't know that, though.
Like, because remember, like I said, it started filming a week after Batman Superman came out.
But
which means they had a script.
Yeah.
All the way up until that moment, that film dropped, and everyone went, what the hell have you done? You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But sometimes you're so
that means like a week passed and whatever, they're going nuts at DC. They're like, what the hell have you done? You've ruined these characters. So in the middle of filming that, like it was filming for however many months, they were having to like do this. It was like La La Land. They were having to tap dance and sing and do everything at once and like make everything look like it's great and be like, all right, we got to make Superman come back to life and we got to make Batman, not a dickhead, and we got to make sure that Wonder Woman's a good character because she's going to have her movie. And I'm like, you're juggling too many plates. Yeah, you're right, man. Suicide Squad came out as well. It's fine in terms of like, it's not Batman, Superman shit.
Yeah.
But it's shit.
Well,
and that was one where they tried to fix it afterwards, where they're like, we'll edit.
It feels like they're doing that to all their films. They're being like, okay, let's just film it for a year or two and then we'll try and fix it. It's just like,
because there's no plan.
But I do think that you can get very sucked up in, like, the directors can get sucked up in their world. Like, DC is a big world and there's a lot of fans. There are a lot of fans out there. We're not fans. But so I think that they're filming this and they're like, people are, we fucking love this, and you're doing a good job, and directors and everything like that, and the cast.
Yeah.
So they might be sucked up in that. And then, like, yeah, sure, you can read like tweets that are like, you guys fucking suck, but there's a lot of tweets that are like, can't wait for this film. I think that they're sucked up in their little universe and they're like, oh, it's gonna be so good.
I think's happened
is Justice League, but it's like, no, you haven't thought about the core principles of the film. Yeah. Like Batman vs Superman. So,
and it's also like they haven't thought about where their story's going. And I've laid this out. I might even make a video on it before Wonder Woman comes out. But there's nobody steering that ship. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I could just see Speed 2, this ship.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
It is like that. It's actually Snyder's just at the helm, just drunk.
Yeah.
Like, you bring out a movie that's Batman v Superman, where you introduce Wonder Woman and then these other characters in an email. We're going off on a Batman Superman rant.
I know.
But what I
Always
mean,
bring it
I'm
back
just
to
saying, if you think about this in the general sense of creating a universe, they brought out Batman versus Superman. And I'm not judging that movie. I'm just saying that's your first film. Okay, the two biggest characters.
Yeah.
The next movie they bring out is Suicide Squad, which are a bunch of nobody characters who are not going to play any part in any of the future movies. Like, they're not in Wonder Woman. They're not in Justice League.
Sure.
One or two of them might be in the Batman movie.
Yeah.
So you brought out a movie that's irrelevant. It's automatically pointless. It doesn't add anything. Then you're bringing out a Wonder Woman movie that's set at World War One, and then you're bringing out your big team movie. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
so
bouncing
like,
all over the place.
I can just see Ben Affleck's brain ticking over, being like, "All right, Batman Superman was, not great.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad was not great.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, I'm not in it." But like, if Justice League is bad, that's 3 movies on the bounce. I've been wearing the Batman costume and just people laughing at me.
I can see Ben Affleck and them coming up to him saying like, "We want the Flash to come back and deliver another message," or something like that, and he's like, "No, that didn't go well the first time," or whatever. I could just see them kind of saying stuff to him that he's like, I can see that this doesn't make sense. And that's probably why he's like, whoa, we need to stop this, guys.
Yeah.
We need to stop this. Stop with the fucking explosions and the mindless thing and this and that. Like, let's actually think about what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's probably what happened.
That's why I think he's like, it's gotten to the point now where he's probably looking at a final cut, or not a rough cut.
Yeah.
They've put enough together that he's sitting there and he's watching like a 3-hour version of it. And he's just like, this is not good.
No, yeah.
And even like, if you just think about it logically, if you've got a plan, right? You've got $200 million to make that plan happen. And for the next 3 or 4 months, all the studio heads are saying, gotta change it. You gotta make the costumes more colorful. You gotta have more jokes. And then we got that little teaser. You remember the little teaser they showed us? And like, Batman is talking to Flash and it's funny. And that was great in terms of like a tone shift.
Yeah.
But that only worked if you were planning that tone shift. If you're trying to shoehorn that into a script you've already got, what's going to happen? And I think, Justice League could be a mess. There's rumors that Wonder Woman is also going to be a bit of a letdown. If not a total mess, it's definitely going to be like, whatever.
Yeah.
And all of this leads me back to a little tiny thing that I saw. And I don't know if you saw it, which is, have you heard of, no, you probably never heard of it. It's called Black Adam. Captain Marvel and Shazam?
No, I don't think I do. I know that Shazam, is Shazam going to be The Rock or something?
He's Black Adam in it. He's the character in it.
Yeah.
This week, he posted on his Instagram this post. I'll read it out to you just so you know. Had a very cool and strategic meeting with the heads of DC about their entire universe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, The Rock sat down. He's like, all right, where's Black Adam? Because he's supposed to come like 2019 or something.
Oh, yeah.
As a hardcore DC fan, to get a real sense of the tonal shifts and the developments coming in these future movies has me fired up. Something we, as DC fans, have been waiting for a very long time. So, right away you're thinking, okay, they've sat down with this big guy, because he's sitting down and he's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm The Rock.
Yeah.
I'm not going on board with like this pile of shit.
Yeah. He's got a lot of other franchises that he can make money on.
The
So.
3 words he says that have been like the big changes: hope, optimism, and fun. Capitals.
Interesting.
And this is like, he's talking about being like Black Adam. He could play a really great Black Adam in that universe. Yeah. In any universe. Like, he can play evil.
Yeah.
But I think he's like, this has got to change.
Yeah.
And from what DC seem to be saying they're doing the exact same thing of like, we got to change this up.
Yeah.
And that film comes out this year. And Wonder Woman comes out this year.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
If Wonder Woman's a flop and Justice League is a mess.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting a Batman movie.
Yeah, no, I can see.
Or they're going to reboot it. They'll just say,
I don't think we need one either, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. But they're in trouble. They're kind of playing a bit of a Microsoft line as well. We'll have to see if they can improve things.
Well, you want to hear the Marvel? They're all over the shop. They're great. They've got Black Panther starts filming next week.
Yeah.
Avengers: Infinity War starts filming next week. And that's also gonna that's shooting down where your show is, the Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
shooting in Georgia.
Nice.
And then they're doing some shoots over in Scotland.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's cool.
That'll be good.
I think next month, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That starts
I heard about that one.
Because Marvel are now planning on releasing 3 movies a year.
Wow. Yeah.
Because there's like...
And they know that each of them are going to do so well.
Yeah.
When's Deadpool 2? Is that...
That's still shooting.
Okay.
This year they're releasing Spider-Man, Thor 2, the Guardians 2.
That is a killer lineup.
And that's for this year. And next year, Ant-Man is going to open up, and then they're going to do their Marvel Avengers Infinity.
That's insane,
It's crazy.
That's a good lineup. So against DC's shitty.
Exactly.
shitty
like DC still haven't gotten their universe like on steady feet.
They're gonna get battered.
And Marvel, like, we're just gonna bring out 3 of these bad boys.
They're gonna get battered.
A couple of weeks or March, they're bringing out Iron Fist.
Oh yeah.
And then later in the year, they got the Defenders TV show.
Yeah.
Which I learned is only 8 episodes.
Nice. I like that. I like the shorter ones.
Yeah, I think 8's the way to go.
Get through them quicker. Yeah.
13's a bit of a long stretch.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when that show drops, the Iron Fist one, man, we're gonna have to watch the whole season in a week.
I know.
It's like, oh god, it's like 2 a day.
I'm still trying to get through fucking Luke Cage.
You still haven't finished that bad boy?
No,
that's a good one. You gotta get that because him and Iron Fist, they're good buddies.
Oh, okay.
So I think when the Defenders rolls around, that'll be good.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's my general update on your movie newsies.
I had a couple of questions for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you... No, I'm joking. What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise this year in the movie industry? As in, like, just movie-wise, like, holy shit, Wonder Woman was actually good. Or, this film, like, you're keeping an eye on a film that you think is going to really surprised. But it's not... if you had to write the headline at the end of 2017, and it was like, films that did well, highlights of 2017, what do you think would come up on that list?
Always when it comes to that kind of thing of the breakouts,
it's
9 times out of 10 like an indie.
Right.
Like the ones everyone's talking about now at the Oscars, like La La Land and Moonlight.
Yeah.
Like no one knows these. There's no hype around them.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not until like Sundance Film Festival or the TIFF that everyone's like, oh, the festivals, and then you start to get these new super films.
Totally.
But so for me, the films that I would say are probably the most anticipated, or at least the ones that are going to have like a lot of people behind them interested. There's a new film that doesn't have a title yet. It's from Catherine Bigelow.
Okay.
She's the the woman who directed Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker.
Nice.
She's got a new one out.
Okay.
And it's a crime film, but it's set in like, I think 1966, 1967, like the civil rights era in America.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like in Detroit.
Okay.
So it's like all these things come together of like, you got the heist, you got the action, you got the crime, but then you've also got like the racial tension, and you've got the economic issues that are happening in Detroit, and all that being wrapped up around, like, how Zero Dark 30 was all about, the war on terror and how badly that reflected on America. And like, this is what, but it was like complicated enough that it looked at every aspect. And it was like, sometimes you got to do these things. I think for her to do something like that means she's probably going to talk a lot about, this is Trump's America, and things aren't going to be as...
Oh, yeah, okay.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's also another film called Logan Lucky, which is from Steven Soderbergh, who everybody knows from the Ocean's 11 movies.
Right.
So, like, he has this tendency of, like, he'll do, like, a big film, and then he does, like, a little film. I'm not sure where this one's going to fall, but again, it's
look out for.
Huh?
One to look out for.
Yeah, it's another heist movie, but this time it's 2 NASCAR brothers that are going to be, like, racing around finding it.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little one. The one that I am really excited about, though, is one that doesn't have a title except, I think it's Fashion.
Okay.
That's just, like, the working title.
Yeah.
It's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay.
Who did There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Of course.
And he's got Daniel Day-Lewis back as well.
Oh, he has?
Yeah. And it's set in the 1950s. It's in the London fashion district.
That could be special.
Something that looks like a good one.
We'll have to star all 3 of those.
Yeah.
So.
In terms of like the big blockbuster ones, I think Power Rangers looks good for what it is.
Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
Like, I'm just for what it's supposed to do.
But yeah, we'll see.
Because they're like, the one thing I thought they were going to do out the gate was like, oh, here's the Zoids. Yeah. The Zords, and they're going to crash everything. They're like, no, they were real patient. They're just like, we're just going to show the kids. We're going to show them getting their suits, and that's it. And I'm like, they've been really smart to be like, what's this robot going to look like? Because at the end of the day, it's just going to look like a Transformer.
Sure.
It's just going to be a giant Pacific Rim robot.
Yeah.
With a sword, and one of them's got like a stick, but if they do it right, a lot of people will be like, oh, oh,
it's a big franchise.
Is really cool.
So,
yeah, it could turn
actually,
into
that's a really good one. I like that because you'd expect Power Rangers just go down the bullshit route and it's just going to be like this. It's going to be Transformers or whatever. But yeah, it does. The trailer does look kind of special. It looks kind of different.
Also, Transformers is probably going to be the greatest film of all time.
Well, I mean, we're going to go see that in the Rumble seats 3D, aren't we?
Yeah. So, Excalibur's back. It's Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. God.
They've also, you just mentioned Pacific Rim now. They've started filming Pacific Rim 2. So I'm quite anxious for that because
is that coming out this year or next year?
No, probably next year. If they've only started filming.
It usually takes about a year. So
yeah, but I'm anxious for that one. So I'm a fan.
What are they going to do? They're going to open the rift again?
Apparently, something to do with the story is
different
like
place.
They start fighting each other, like the human robots, or they start like doing battles and stuff. But then the rift, I think, must reopen. So
like the first half hour is just like
it's just Robo Wars.
It's just Robo Wars.
So that'll be kind of funny. But okay, well we'll star those films and we'll keep an eye on them. And if you're wrong, then you're out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair deal.
This one sucks.
I heard of this. Catherine Bigelow. Bullshit.
I think just like next week, what's on the cards for next week or the next coming weeks? I know that we're anxious to do another movie talk over.
Movie talk over. That's your official terminology for it.
Movietalkover.com.
Oh, it's good to catch up on the news this week. I think next week we'll have a topic to talk about. I think maybe we talk about the Alien movies.
Oh yeah, they're coming out shortly, and there's a lot to go through.
It's like April or something. Yeah. So do you want to do that next week?
I think that'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll go through those guys. We'll play the music in the background. Just creep ourselves out. Maybe we'll do the podcast in the dark.
How about we do the first two the first two? So we'll do Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we might as well do Alien 3 as well.
Yeah, because it's like Resurrection's like Rocky 5. It's
it
not in
the
collection.
All right, so next week we'll talk about Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3.
Yeah.
All right, that gives me enough time to watch them again.
Sounds like a plan. So,
yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll see which one of them actually still holds up after all these years.
I feel like it's going to be Alien 1, to be honest, but we'll wait and see.
Well,
Alien 2
is
great, but yeah.
So we'll do that next week?
Not so much. Yeah, we'll do that next week. That'll be fun.
Tech news and everything else we get coming out.
And you, as the listeners, have no choice in this at all because we got 5 of you. So
yeah, you can't go anywhere because we live with you.
And eventually, big movie we want to do is Suicide Squad as well. So we want to rant about that and talk about the good things and the bad things. There's a few goodies in there. I don't think it was as bad as Batman vs Superman, but we'll get into that.
It was a smaller dumpster fire. Let's just put it like
smaller dumpster. But well, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. And I'm Rant. No, I'm not. I've said that wrong. So I'm going to let Paul cut this out. So
thanks, guys. Talk to you next week. Yeah. Oh, if anybody needs to leave us a message or anything, it's at rantandbollocks@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And you can find us at rantandbollocks at Twitter. And you can leave us a comment on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're getting
Rant and Bollocks.
Getting a website sorted out and getting ourselves on iTunes. And let us know what other podcasts.
Well, we're probably on iTunes if you can hear this by now.
Yeah, that's true. But
if you can't hear this and you can still...
Let us know what other podcast software you use. I don't know why I said it that way. All right. Thanks, guys. Boom.